Adding a release cue. You want to treat the release cue as a behavior itself. You've reinforced your dog for staying behind the barrier, and now you want to teach your dog that when you say the release cue, it's okay to leave the barrier. To do this, you simply say the release cue, encourage your dog over the barrier, and click and reinforce your dog for coming out of the barrier. You can also teach your dog a cue to mean go back behind the barrier. To do this, you simply say the cue, encourage your dog back, and click when your dog goes back behind the barrier. Stimulus control on the release cue means 1. The dog leaves the barrier immediately when asked. 2. The dog never leaves the barrier without a release. 3. The dog never leaves the barrier in response to another stimuli. And 4. No other behavior occurs in response to the release cue besides leaving the barrier. Once you've created stimulus control on your release cue, your dog will know that the only stimulus that means they can leave the barrier area is if you say the release cue and not anything else. For example, a frisbee being thrown, a cat running by, your parents coming to visit, or another dog walking on leash. To achieve stimulus control on your release cue, you'll need to do a lot of proofing until your dog can generalize the behavior to all circumstances. To do this, you're going to click and reinforce your dog as the distraction happens, and then, as your dog gets better and better, you're going to withhold your click so the dog is dealing with more distractions before the reinforcement. Here's a proofing list. Toss food of low to extremely high value, toy distractions, still to fast moving, people and dog distractions, low interest to high interest, prey distractions, toys on a string to live critters. Use a long line and a harness if you are unsure of your dog's safety. You can also practice for longer and longer periods of time, as well as being out of sight of the dog. Remember safety first. If you think your dog might cross the barrier and you're in an unsafe area, simply keep your dog in the harness and long line so they can't get into danger. A training misconception. Physical pain yields more reliable results. This is untrue. It is scientifically proven that behaviors that are reinforced will happen again in the future, and behaviors that are prevented from being reinforced will become extinct. It is true that dogs avoid pain, but they can also habituate to pain and will sacrifice a painful experience for freedom to roam. Instead, we are training the dogs to want to stay behind the barrier, not to fear pain when leaving.